I would like to see a future where the city of Memphis is breathable. I want the people in my family who live less than 5 miles away from this facility to be able to breathe and live.
I have been active in the environmental movement in our city for the last year or so.
And one of the things you're really passionate about is clean air and environmental justice. Could you talk a little bit more about your involvement with that?
So I really got involved in the movement once XAI came to Memphis. We noticed when they were coming, one, there weren't any regulations being passed and our local officials weren't doing anything to stop them from coming. In fact, they were actually signing NDAs, so the public did not know what was happening. And right now we think they have around 70 or so nitrous gas turbines. And basically what that means is they're pumping out tons of pollutants on a daily basis. They're ripping out millions and millions of gallons of water from our aquifer every single day. Now, they built the second XAI facility right behind my middle school. One day, it smelled like the nitrous oxide inside the middle school, which was like crazy. And I just remember that vividly and that smell. So young people have really stood up against XAI. And what we're doing is not only trying to create pressure on our politicians to act, but we're also trying to build coalition with other young people and other environmental organizations to not only protect us from XAI, but also from other polluters that exist in our city. Both sides of my family are from around this area. So not only has it been, XAI, it's been Valero, it's all these other polluters that are kind of showcasing why XAI does not need to be here, because we're already a risk zone, but also just continuing to pile upon the people who live here. As young people, if we don't get involved now, then we won't have a life in this city that we can look forward to. And they are always talking about the future of Memphis, but they're not really doing anything to protect the future of Memphis. You smell the air, you can smell it. Not living in conditions that the people who are polluting us would not want to live in.
You can really smell the industry. You can really smell the pollutants that are in the air.
One of the XAI representatives was recently asked, would you want to live in South Memphis? And they said no. I think as a young person, when we speak, people listen more than they do, honestly, when we get older. It's hard for people who have been stuck in the system of adults leading everything to see how young people can make change. But when we do, not only does it inspire adults around us, but it inspires young people around us as well. The people who run these data centers are human. They're not outside force that can't be stopped. If it's coming in your community, you have a right to have a say in what's happening. So not only is it your right to speak up about it, but it's also your duty, because you're the one who has to live with the consequences. So we have to fight for our lives because they aren't going to fight for them.
Your generation, the young generation that's out there advocating, that's the beginning of hopefully a long journey into continuing to build a better community for everyone.
I hope so.
You're amazing. Thanks so much.
Thanks.